Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Tomorrow is Flag Day in the United States. The Stars and Stripes became the official flag of the U.S. 243 years ago. Valley News Team's Alexandra Kay caught up with a group who is doing their part to make sure the flag gets a proper retirement when its time comes.
Since 1916, the United States has celebrated Flag Day every June 14th. For this group of veteran service members in the FM area, it means a day of paying tribute to the flag they wear so proudly.
It's a symbol of our freedom, of our democracy, of our justice. It's a symbol of what our nation's men and women in the service have lived, worked, and died for.
For over 10 years, Fargo AM vets have celebrated Flag Day by holding a ceremony to properly retire worn American flags.
It served its life in a justified, dignified manner. So you're going to retire that flag also in a dignified manner. We strip out every single stripe and we commemorate the first 13 colonies. And we burn those first. Then we bring over the field of blue, give it a salute, and then you've retired a flag. This is all about the flag and the men and women who fought to protect and preserve our freedom and democracy and justice.
A proper way to retire the symbol of the country. In Fargo, Alexandra Kay, Valley News Live.
The group says they collect flags throughout the year. This year's total stands at 775 flags that will be retired this Flag Day. One person is dead after a plane crash at the Mandan airport this afternoon. Mandan police say a small aircraft crashed around 1:45. The pilot was the only person on board and did not survive. Police say the pilot was from North Dakota, but they are not releasing his name or age at this time. The crash is under investigation. The state of North Dakota is reporting another 42 positive COVID-19 cases. 31 of those are from Cass County. Over 3,000 tests were completed. The active case count in the state now sits at 354. There were no new deaths reported today. The death toll linked to the virus remains at 74. In Minnesota, the state is reporting 9 new deaths linked to COVID-19. It brings the death toll in the state to 1,283. Another 394 positive cases were reported today. The active case number in the state is now at 3,269. North Dakota state health officials are warning parents about delaying their child's immunizations because of coronavirus, and stats say it's already happening. Experts say immunizations in kids are down 15% since last year. Experts say shots are only effective if at least 95% of people use them. Right now, mumps and measles are under 85%.
Having vaccine-preventable diseases and COVID-19 circulating within facilities at the same time could potentially lead to a large number of closures and, worse, adversely affect the health of our children.
Healthcare facilities have been using separate facilities for sick and healthy individuals and using drive-up locations for immunizations. North Dakota's oil industry has already had more than 9,000 unemployment claims this year, and experts say more could be coming. In a meeting this week, oil industry regulators cautioned about a new wave of unemployment that is coming for the industry.
By the end of next week, it's my understanding, certainly by the end of this month of June, the PPP program will have expired for these folks.
June will start to show some improvement in production after it dropped off in April and May. A local church partnered with Black Lives Matter to help feed hundreds of families in need during the COVID-19 pandemic. They handed out thousands of pounds of fresh produce, all for free. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie has our story.
25,000 pounds of fruits and veggies now in the fridges of families across the metro.
Well, a friend of mine who's coming over here to work told me to come over to the church. I said, what is going on? He said, they're giving away stuff. So, I said, I'm going to come over here.
The Northview Church in South Fargo is reaching the hearts of the community, serving people in need during the pandemic.
Back here, come back here. It's a blessing. Always be grateful for the little things. It ain't always the big things.
Before 8 a.m., they handed out boxes to nearly 25 people. Later, hundreds more.
I came here just to get the produce from the church, and then I'm giving one to each of my neighbors.
Black Lives Matter organizers teaming up with the church to fill cars.
We're also about giving back to our community, and this is a community that we love, so we wanted to make sure that we showed up.
I think it's awesome, especially when it's a hard time like this, that they're helping out the community.
We're eating good. Well, you see, I need the vegetables.
Pastor Cal, or Papa C, is known as the man with the servant's heart. He started Reach the Heart about a year ago.
I've had them pull up and thank me, some in tears, some even wanted to give me money, and that's not what it's all about. But so I am just feeling I could almost dance for you right now. I'm so excited.
All of the food and the trailer donated. Pastor Cal happy to pay it forward.
It brings so much joy to know that we're helping families that are in need during the pandemic.
Let's just help each other, bless each other, and encourage one another.
In Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Reach the Heart and Black Lives Matter will be giving out twice as many boxes. That's 50,000 pounds of produce on Saturday, June 27th. It will be from 8 to 2 at the Northview Church parking lot. Hundreds of people participated in more protests today in Minneapolis, decrying police brutality and calling for justice for victims of police violence. Black Lives Matter organizers and other activists chanted George Floyd's name outside the Hennepin County Government Center in downtown. Names of other victims rang out too, including Philip Quinn, who was shot and killed by St. Paul police in 2015, and Travis Jordan, who was shot and killed by Minneapolis police in 2018. The Native Lives Matter Youth Alliance also joined the rally after holding their own solidarity event in Loring Park. After the rally at the Government Center, protesters marched about a half-mile northwest to the Minneapolis Police 1st Precinct building. Tonight, parts of the country are seeing record numbers of COVID-19 infections, and protesters fighting for police reforms are taking to the streets once again. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump left Washington to deliver an address at a unique commencement ceremony. Chris Pallone has more.
Class of 2020, dismissed! Amidst growing tension between the White House and the Pentagon's top brass, President Trump delivered the commencement address at West Point Saturday.
This premier military academy produces only the best of the best, the strongest of the strong, and the bravest of the brave.
The speech came as Mr. Trump continues threatening to use active duty military to quell unrest in American cities, and in a week where the nation's top general apologized for being part of a political photo op engineered by the White House last week.
It was a mistake that I've learned from.
Earlier, the president bowed to pressure over his first scheduled campaign rally in months, moving next week's gathering in Tulsa to Saturday. It was originally scheduled on Juneteenth, the commemoration of the end of slavery in the U.S., in a city which saw one of the worst massacres of Black Americans in history. The Trump campaign will not say whether it will enforce CDC guidelines at the rally to slow the spread of COVID-19.
What we're seeing right now is something obviously that's disturbing.
In the past week, 14 states have seen an uptick in coronavirus cases of more than 25%. In a taped address to Missouri Democrats, Joe Biden slammed the president's handling of the pandemic and protests over the death of George Floyd.
We're dealing with multiple national crises. We need leadership right now.
More than 115,000 people in the U.S. have died from COVID-19 so far, and protesters are in American streets for the 19th straight day. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Regarding that now infamous photo op when President Donald Trump held up a Bible outside a church near the White House after denying using pepper spray or tear gas while clearing protesters from the president's route that night, the Secret Service now admits one of its agents did use pepper spray during that incident. It's the latest shift from federal law enforcement in explaining exactly what happened during that advance on a peaceful protest.